Yeah, it's sort of, that's how I felt when I came here too. Yeah. It's like part of your mythological imagination.
But I'm really shocked like how much it is actually like from street culture and like daily life and this like stairs and this also this that people are not stabbing and this superficial politeness and at the same time like grumpiness because Viennese people are very grumpy deep down, but they have there's like this imperial, from imperial times still this monarchy. Mm-hmm. I think it's like a
Austro-Hungarian.
I think it's like something from this. So that's like a caricature, but it's really true. Like deep down, everyone is like they're polite, but they don't mean it. Yeah, pretentious, and it's like very clicky. Like I just moved back to Vienna 1 year ago. I was living in Berlin and in Leipzig. Yeah, it's like it's just the hometown you grew up in, and then
you want to go somewhere.
It's like suffocating you, and you have to get away.
What brought you back?
And then I started to miss it, and I mean Vienna is really like it's very good for growing old or like for aging. I think now with 36, I'm starting to feel the age coming. Really appreciate these things that I used to hate. It's like. Comfortableness and it's like cozy and comfortable and like very clean and everything kind of works and there's a good social system. Like now I'm getting like social benefits and it's great. I live from this.
I was a young boy on the subway. He was like 20 and he was reading Confessions of a Mask by Mishima, like this old. I was very close to him and I was spying on him and he took out his phone and I was like, of course he took out, but he actually was looking up a word that was in the book. And I think I realized like when I was his age, I would also read books like that.
Boys reading or cute boys reading.
I always hide my book. I started taking secret photos, and I just so like I could finish them at home, and then after a while I started just taking secret photos, even of people that I was not drawing. But
creepy. No, I do it too. Because I think when you see someone, it looks.
I am an artist.
Yeah.
That's for purely professional reasons. But I'm saying it's illegal to steal somebody's bag, but it's actually legal to take a photo of somebody in public.
Yeah.
Not polite and maybe creepy, but legal. We're literally like this close because I was like, he was sitting this way and I was my seat was facing, and he was like right in my space, and I was just fully just drawing like every pimple on his nose.
I also went for a dog walk, and I had my phone in my hands. And like the dogs were like going different directions. I was struggling a little bit, and then there was like a group of people sitting on a park bench, and one of them was like shouting at me like, "Hey, don't shine your phone in my face."
Because I have been drawing people and taking photos of people secretly in public for years. Like all my sketchbooks are just like I just like stare at them, and they never ever see me. Like nobody accuses me of taking their picture or drawing their picture. And
it's hard,
I think that I don't realize it, but I make myself invisible somehow without, and I don't even know how I'm doing it.
So the way you go in a cafe, but it's like a very grand cafe, like not like a small coffee shop, 50 tables, and there's like one waiter in the whole place. It's very slow, and they're like all day long and drink 1 or 2 coffee and read papers or just like and you can see like a lot of people write.
Among the many forms of the grotesque, I find the one whose roots are steeped in despair more unusual and complex. The other forms have less intensity. It is important to note that the grotesque is inconceivable without intensity of feeling. And what intensity is deeper and more organic than despair? The grotesque appears only in very negative states, when great anxiety arises from a lack of life. The grotesque is an exaltation in negativity. This person was very depressed.
Mm-hmm.
I relate to it so much.
What's wrong with him?
So I must be depressed too.
But it's
Typical
yeah.
to read like Nietzsche when you're a teenager and you think you understand something because it's so profound.
Yeah.
And it was really like full of sorrow and like full of like this like staring into the void. And like clearly you wanted to find some kind of like very ultimate truth about
Salvation.
about existence or about the universe. And I mean, and this is something I can relate to also. Maybe it's like a more like stereotypical like male problem because not having not having access to expressing like tender or like soft feelings and of having. I mean, like Cioran time, it was like World
he
War,
writes
and
those,
it was like very
because he can't just cry.
yeah, and like this, I think this already creates like a really big problem, and then this like classic Nietzsche stuff. It's for me, it's like a lot of this like finding like a very complex and analytical explanation about the pain and suffering, but found pain of existing and stuff. Like I think it's like very universal thing, and it's more like a human trait than a like male or female or gender related.
And how can one still have ideals when there are so many blind, deaf, and mad people in the world? How can I remorselessly enjoy the light another cannot see or its sound another cannot hear? I feel like a thief of life. Have we not stolen life from the blind? Light from the blind and sound from the deaf.
It's very basic question, like very bluntly asked also.
But it's beautifully composed.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost poetic.
I was trying to read Nietzsche when I was 14 and
I didn't get it.
No, because later I found Cioran and I don't remember how I found this. Maybe it was like I mean it was more accessible.
More accessible, yeah.
Like in the first place and like less like complicated like and I think like less bitter like or I mean it's more bitter in a way that it's like so brutal and like so absolute and this I really like because it's not even trying to bring reason into everything.
But aren't all you artists sad people?
Yeah, like when I draw my
or is that not
drawings in my sketchbook, like the best ones are when I'm most depressed because I can like the whole world becomes swallowed up in nothing but the black line on the white paper.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing, like everything else is unbearable. So then like the lines become so like pure and intense and in the moment.
I mean I know this. But I don't have it so strong because I don't draw like daily and I don't draw like now I took a really long break from drawing actually because I was too sad and I was actually too depressed and even though I knew that like the only thing that would help me is like to create something I was really like blocked like I had to really like block like and so it's because I connect drawing to like
accomplishment and
also to like
life
joy yeah like joy of life or like to something positive and I just felt like I want to get out of this like black hole first before I this and I want to create out of a like really desperate state of mind or like, what brings us together with this writer and like what we were saying for is like sadness and like futility, like seeing this futility of being, but ultimately like wanting to be happy and wanting joy and optimism. I mean, this is also why we draw or create something, and I think like he was not like.
So if he was like resigned to his despair, then there would be nothing there.
Yeah, I think, and
But
I think like Nietzsche was more like this, that he just resigned to this despair and eventually stopped also with this, like going like deeper, and I feel like into like this meaninglessness and absurdity, that it came to a point where like the only solution or like the only consequence of this is like actually that you have to live and you have to be happy and like, or not have to be happy, but to just embrace this. And suicide is like too much hassle, and it's like.
It seems like he's working from the assumption that nothing would happen if he killed. Like that would be the end if he killed.
And this like what caught me most is this idea of like not death is like the biggest threat or something to our life, but like the biggest. It's a nice bridge here. Like the biggest disaster is like that we were born.
Yeah.
And so from this point of view, it can only get better. And this is like, I think it has something religious.
But how does
But because there's like this birth or this like being born is like such a important and like sacrilegious thing or like holy thing, but not that it's like a beautiful miracle, but it's like this is like already the worst thing that can happen. So everything that comes after is just like getting away from this and getting over this. And
because true sadness is black, devoid of charms, and dreamless, there is greater weariness in sadness than in melancholy. And it drives one to disgust with life, to acute depression. So he's like sort of welcoming death, but like life itself is so depressing.
So like a really degrading, miserable life seems worse than death. Is it because of hope?
do you believe in God?
Huh?
Do you think like, I mean,
I think there's something.
yeah,
And
but then there's like this the Holocaust happened, or like events like this, or just any bigger disaster, or like why then there's so much suffering, and like why it's just like constant pain and
Because God's
loss and misery.
But that question is based on the presumption that God is like this all-loving, all-knowing, forgiving. Like there's a like we have this idea of what like the Judeo-Christian God is not. I mean, if there is a God, it's probably not that.
So why did God do this? Why did she do it?
Well, we could say that God is all of us, so we collectively did it.
No, I think animals automatically do this, living their life to the fullest.
Yeah.
But they don't.
They don't need
But
they don't need this like motivation.
They're not aware that they're gonna die.
Live every day of your life like it's the last or something.
Although dolphins might.
Dolphins are also very fucked up. And like I would.
What's a psychopath?
Yeah. I think they're too smart, maybe. I mean, I think like animal brains are. I don't know, when I see these like dogs, I mean, they just, they're really living in the moment.
Did you want to be born? What would those two pugs say?
Hell yeah.
Like,
No, I think, yeah, I think like, of course, like this like how else would you roll yourself in the mud or like sniff all the
Butts?
the butts and all the smells.
I want to sniff some butts.
Yeah.
I think there's something actually humiliating about growing old.
Well,
Don't
you
think?
think
There's
it's
something
so the the humiliation, the indignity of it. It's definitely like West or even American.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the lack of respect for the elder.
Worshipping of youth or of youthful traits, like looking young and acting young and also like this like feeling that you have to be happy and you have to be like joyful.
So
it's insane actually, like how much is like evolving around this like idea of youth, or like you're 50 or 60 and you still want to look like you're holding people are holding on to this
You want somebody to take a photograph of you. You want people to talk to you.
like to some extent it makes sense, because younger generation should come up with like new ideas.
There's
they should
a new
also be
thing.
like
Yeah.
suggest something. Yeah, but it's still like something that
what good are old people anyway?
yeah, they're just taking up space and
Yeah, look at this big graveyard.
moving slow and
Or moving-
always complaining.
Thinking slow, back hurt.
Logan's Run.
Oh yeah, Logan. Midsummer, they
Midsummer,
died
no.
in like
Oh,
they
yeah.
would
It's
kill
voluntary
themselves.
and like they're jumping.
What I know at 60, I knew as well at 20. 40 years of a long, superfluous labor of verification.
Mm-hmm. Verification.
So he's just like, I knew all the stuff
Mm-hmm.
I knew when I was 20, but I just basically spent my life verifying it.
And it's also like in this comic that I was drawing about this embryo that is like in the womb, or like womb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like pondering, and it's like with these thoughts of Cioran, or like with this language, and like I just thought it's funny, like this having like this very intellectual unborn that is like trying to decide if it's
should he be born?
Mix this together with this
He just knows.
Tibetan book of that, and also this like reincarnation, this like cycles, and it's like this idea is like basically that you are.
Huh?
Yeah, you basically choose to be born.
Okay.
You not only that, you choose your parents and you watch them having sex and you join them in the sex and you go through the penis. You die and then you hang out for like 49 days. But it's sort of,
That's right. It's like that purgatory, yeah.
But then it's very variable. And then you often will join the life of somebody that was close to you. If you did something bad, you get tormented by demons in this like.
I mean, there's like different realms, and animal is not even the lowest. I think there's like this hungry ghosts, and they're like, it's like when you spend your life being like really greedy or like really, and the horrible thing about them is that they have like such, they're like insanely hungry all the time, and they have such their throats, they're so thin as like as a needle hole. So it's really painful for them to eat.
Oh wow.
But they're constantly hungry, and this is like a
It's
realm, like one of the 7 or 9, I don't know, realms that you can.
Yeah, I couldn't keep it really straight.
Yeah, I don't know, like this you wanna avoid, I think.
So the thing is if you kill yourself, you still gotta deal with all the issues.
Yeah, maybe it gets even worse by killing yourself, like in Buddhism, because you're just you're acting like selfish, maybe.
There is a Buddhist story about how I think it was Buddha told the monks to go and meditate on death, and they all a bunch of them misunderstood and killed themselves. I forget what it's called, but they had like a field of dead people. They'd put all the dead people, and then they would be tasked to go and just like hang out and look at the dead people and think about how they'll die.
I feel like I had fun, or I don't know. I had fun. Like I could die. I feel like I had like pretty privileged life so far. I traveled and
have you ever been in love?
I've been in love and.
Have you ever killed a man?
not
that you
knowingly,
know of.
not that I know of. That is a Massenphänomen, or this mass phenomenon that affects, like, that is like infectious, and this makes you really also see like how people are not that individual. Being like a group of people that are extremely under high pressure of like work, mostly like work, and like having like to deliver and having to like overworked and like kind of burn out, and but not knowing a way out of this. So someone like starts laughing, or there's like another case of like a factory, they start coughing,
They started coughing.
and then they think like it must be something, some
Yeah.
chemical
Right.
or some allergic reaction, and then it turns out just all the workers start coughing because they are just completely overworked, and also with the dancing. But with this dancing plague, there's another theory that it could be that they accidentally ate like this moldy
The
corn.
ergot.
There is no reason actually. Like,
So everything is random.
everything is random, and everything that we see as logic or like as reasonable is like it's just constructed and
But-
made up. And
Dreams are the real life, and this here reality is the actual fake. Everything is connected. We went to go see Stepan's show because I admire Stepan's work and I admire Austin's work, and I want to see. Well, honestly, I wanted to be part of the scene. Absolutely no absurdism at all. It was
It's
so
absurd-
meaningful, though. Not many people have read that book.
no, I think this like what I mean is not that. Also, what Cioran probably means, like not that everything is like meaningless, so it doesn't matter what you do. Like, of course, you give meaning and you connect. It's a little bit like also like
The existentialism.
yeah, and also a little
You
bit-
create your own meaning.
Yeah, I mean also a little bit like solipsistic, or it's called this idea. Like it's just through you it becomes meaningful, and through your will to like find meaning and to see beauty or to see like something. This gives it meaning, but only to you, and that but it's probably meaningless to everyone else to
So
acknowledge that it's ultimately it's like meaningless with you, but in order to have like a nice time or to have like good experiences, you give meaning to it, but there's no like outer or greater meaning. I mean, like for the exterior world, like it's paradox in a way, because just it's like a trick of the brain or something. The brain tricking itself, like you embrace like the
illusion.
and on like you go like with all your heart into it. And like this, I think it's really important because of me, because if I don't know, like if I have a job and I stick to some other like exterior rules or like logic, then I have to like adapt this logic or this reason of like why I'm working in the sausage factory, and like, it makes sense somehow, and I'm a part of this. And I think this like not doesn't feel like you're free at all. And I don't know if I'm free, but I think I feel freer like not having a job, for example, where I have to. I mean, it could also be that you really enjoy like.
Or also you could do art about making the sausage factory.
Why are intellectuals and artists always worried about having to work at a sausage factory? And the rest of the world is not really.
Because you've worked at a sausage factory for many, many years.
There's a creativity in capitalism.
There's only two kinds of people: like sausage factory owners and sausage makers. Attached, like less. Like, that you become less attached, but more conscious of.
No attachment, and then hyper consciousness.
I have not.
Do you feel like you're thinking too much or overthinking or?
Yes. I'm part of like a group of people that are Buddhists, and I have done a lot of meditation and I've gone to a few retreats, but I'm not a Buddhist, and I've never really gotten to the higher levels of the jhanas or the samadhi. That's where you sort of like merge completely into nothingness and your own breath. And then the jhanas are sort of like, they've been described as the opposite of an anxiety attack. You know, when you have an anxiety attack and your own anxiety feeds into it and it gets worse, and you're like anxiety that just gets worse and worse. With the jhana, you feel this deep peace, and then you like fold into the peace, which causes more peace, and it's like this whirlpool of bliss. I've heard all about it, but yeah, these Buddhists, they're like way smarter than me, so I can't really challenge them. But
I think this like the Tibetan Book of Death, like I read also that's like very advanced and very specific method. Like you have to know a lot about these Buddhistic practices before you can even understand it. And the one thing I remember is that it's like when you die, apparently you see a lot of like different lights and colors, and when you are like kind of enlightened, then you can see them as like what they are. They are like deities or like gods or goddesses. And if you're just like not a believer or something, you just see them as some kind of abstract shapes and lights and colors.
And you have to like
and it's,
go
I like
towards
this idea
the white. There's different colors. Like the red light is like the jealous god or something.
Yeah.
But you should go towards.
But I like this idea that you only see the like shape. And if you spend your life like as I understood it, like practicing enough, then you are able that they show themselves to you. Like you
So
can
basically,
see
you spend your life practicing to die. You just
depends on the perspective, and I think I cannot like I'm not religious, and I'm a little bit spiritual, but you know it's not the reality I experience. And, and I think this is not, I don't know, it's not necessarily important if there's like, if this is like a god or something, or if it's just like a matrix and I'm just like on illusion all the time. But I mean, I just accept that this has an impact of
Because of a culture.
Yeah, just culturally, like
it just kind of comes in with
like a lot of shame and guilt is still there. I prefer this like
Do you think that
now that I'm here and I see also this or experience this, like, I appreciate this more. Like this like a dedication to like insanity, or just to be like this like idea of freedom. I mean, I feel it more here that it matters less. Also, people, especially in New York, people don't look at you, don't pay attention to how you look or what you do. It's just everyone is like accepts the fact that everyone is crazy in a way, and everyone wants to succeed in one way in life. But in Austria or like European cultures, and especially in Austria, I feel like it's a lot
conformity.
It's like deeply rooted conformity, and also this like deeper like sense of like with deeper shame or guilt, and this I really find annoying because it's not like expressing yourself or of.
They're more aware of the limits.
They're more. They think they're more aware of. They're less aware because they're actually not aware. It's just like something like cultural is when you die that you go to like heaven or something, and like this like I don't know, just Catholic ideas like death is like so like that you can be sinful or something, like if you overindulge and like have this anxiety of this like this feeling
have the anxiety.
Because I think with this what we talk about, like maybe like in Greek Orthodox or
Yeah.
Catholic, or this like shops are closing at 7.
Yeah.
Like a supermarket in Vienna, it's like a 2 million people city and shops.
I need to live in a place where I can be a little bit weird because I am weird.
Tokyo is another weird place that has its own.
I was like a monster of weird. I was like Godzilla of weirdness over there.
In Tokyo, like that you feel like more alienated or less?
To death.
To death.
May we
And
die
and
happily.
birth. And birth.
Yes. Yes. There's this movement like they're like called like anti-natalists or something. They don't have
A womb.
a womb,
How you say
but
womb?
I have I don't have the need also to reproduce, but it's not the end of the world. Something like it wouldn't be.
Some
But
people,
I think it's like it makes sense to like consider the life of this person that you create, not wanting to contribute to like the suffering in the world, and like every life you create would cause more. What they say, I think
Yeah.
like, that's the idea.
I mean, part of the reason that I have not wanted to have children is because I wouldn't want to put somebody through what I have been through. The thing is suffering is relative. Like, perhaps if I had a kid, they would suffer less than me, because I would not be... I would probably try to make it easier for them. But still, their knowledge of the suffering would be what they know. So, like, that in itself would just be... Everybody's suffering is equal from themselves, from their own perspective. The years going by of this vague dread, like, it adds up. It's not being in Gaza in a tunnel and being tortured, but it's still suffering. Okay, the truth is that I just don't want to give birth because it's gross and painful.
For example, in Austria,
to be born,
in
or
the countryside, it's like still like you're still expected to like, from your family or from your
saying earlier, cultural.
Yeah, it's just moving history forward. It's just what's
That's
next.
how you do.
What's the next chapter when you're around you is having kids and you're sort of
Exactly.
Can you say it again? If every like you know people that have kids, and this makes it.
Most of my friends have kids.
This creates a pressure. Well, I think I have some mental problems that I still want to be like able to really process before even thinking. That's like my answer. Like seriously, because I struggle like also anxiety stuff and depression stuff, and it's not even like a real question. One friend, we used to play in a band together. She was really like saying, I remember this like very well. She was like saying, like I just feel it inside me. I feel I have to.
Yeah, that.
Like she was like obsessed with this, and she went out there and made a baby with someone she hates. She really doesn't like him. She doesn't want him to.
But it is the most natural thing. I mean, there's nothing more natural than wanting to have a baby.
This is also the only person I know that was like describing it as this. Like it's very like I just feel it. It's my biological clock is ticking.
I've heard that too.
And I found it like scary because it was like but it's still like.
Because like when I see my friends having babies, I'm like, how could you do that? If somebody sees me being an artist and not very successful and not very like, why would you spend your life doing those stupid little drawings? It's like it's not a decision you make. It's like something you just deep inside of you. I feel like I was born to make art. Like that's why I am here.
Hans, why were you born?
Do you remember?
Why? No, I think yes. Everyone has a mission in life. If I imagine myself in like really spiritual, like esoteric, then I would say like I have a mission, and I have maybe I have like Jesus complex, like a tiny one, and I think like I have to make peace. I mean, that's like what I feel like I can do. That I can spread like some kind of calm. What is what people told me that. It's funny though because this comics world, it's like I mean, people that draw comics, they are usually like by themselves, and maybe they share some books or like over the internet or something.
Cartoonists are a very insulated, individualistic kind of person. Like, we're so self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really need other people. So it makes us a little bit weird.
Yeah, because we draw our friends. And I mean, that's like the freedom of it. But when it's like, I mean, I have other artist friends that are like painters, and they don't even think about this. They just always say like, yeah, you have to make regularly shows and
yeah, it's about the show.
And connect and be like show up at exhibitions and just be seen and stuff. I don't know. Like in this evening, I try to talk to people, but I don't know what to say, and then I drink, and then I'm just talking like complete nonsense, and I don't know, it doesn't help. Like I thought like I have to be there, and also like maybe I can like sell more, like help. Something. I was thinking about the money.
Yeah.
Are you more of a cartoonist or a painter?
Yeah. Or a writer. Or
I mean, I started with drawing and comics, but I'm not like a full-blooded cartoonist. I don't think so.
What is the cartoonist scene in Vienna? Is it small?
It's very small. Like, I mean, I just got into it when I went to Berlin, because in Berlin there's a lot of comics, independent comics, and like scenes and all this stuff, and like I really discovered it there. I mean, I knew comics before, but just in Berlin, like I got into it.
Yes.
And I mean, I think it's great because it's like being an artist, but you don't have to be like this persona, like artist persona, or this extroverted, or like, I don't know,
Jacuz or something,
yeah. And like in Vienna, the art people, they're like also, I don't know, it's like this need that they have to be such strong personalities, and like, you know, like being very loud and very like extroverted and like all over the place. And I mean, I just really like this small community of cartoonists that you share like this appreciation of like the like calmer. I mean, I was really like nervous also. Like also, I told you like I was like when I saw you, I was a little bit starstruck in the first moment, and this also that this guy from the comic book store was there, and this Gabe, and then this journalist from New York Times was, I don't know, just was a little bit exciting.
Just somebody drawing in their room about their life experience and their thoughts and dreams. And I didn't, you know, because I've read Spider-Man and it didn't hit me that way.
It's weird because it is nice when I meet people that have read my comics, because then it feels like I don't have to explain myself.
True, yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, you already understand how I am, and you accept how I am, and so I can just be how I am. Sort of. But people who don't know my work, I have to present myself. I have to give them a story of who I am, I feel like.
And it's a very common question, like, so here, I feel everyone asking this.
Yeah,
so what do you do in life?
So what
like,
is it?
What is it you do? embarrassing question because it means like you care about like jobs or like about career.
But I draw myself
like,
pretty generically.
Yeah, but it looks like you, and that's what I really like about people that make comics about themselves. Is like that you feel like you know them, or like it's really like like knowing someone without ever having met them. Like I think it's the best, like it's the coolest part of this comics. I don't know, like also like Robert Crumb or something. Like it's very very crowded, always like very like. I mean, it just speaks to me so much because like this, it's so packed and so like everything kind of like overwhelming and like.
Yeah, but every single detail is so carefully rendered. It's like I don't know, she's doing something else. I think I'd rather be able to draw like Julie Doucet than Crumb.
Like masterful drawer or cartoonist, but it just gets really tiring. Big legs stuff, like it's. I mean, it's funny because it's just real, but it's also like I lost a little bit interest in like because also there's so much of him and like so. It just it's good how you do it because I really until now was not aware of the camera and the. Realize like it makes me really uncomfortable to think about this like end, and this also I think this is why I started this series of disasters, that I just want to find a way of like being cool with this like ending things or like things coming to an end, because I just don't like it, or maybe I don't understand it, or I'm bad at finishing things. Like I don't really. Maybe I'm not even really aware of death or something that I really.
But
maybe I'm just not truly. Maybe I never really got it. That.
Well, yeah. I mean, it seems like a lot of what we're doing is trying to square ourselves with death. Like the fact that we're gonna die. We're just like trying. Like.
You think?
I want to leave something. Some evidence that I existed, at least. But I do think about my comics being like somebody in the future could read them and be like, oh, this is what it was like to live in New York in the 2020s. I was thinking like I was drawing people on the subway, and sometimes I'll draw a homeless person who's asleep. And I'm like, is this wrong to draw the sleeping homeless person? I think it's wrong not to draw the sleeping homeless person.
Certain comics catch you, and maybe like Spider-Man is something else, but still it's not like it's like important to many people. Also Spider-Man or like this. Yeah, what he gets cool, but the same thing with like having kids or not. It's like it doesn't cross my mind as much. Maybe as other people's, because I feel like still like I'm just still like learning how to deal with just being here, and I feel like to deal with what I want to leave behind or what I want to like. It seems still like very far away, like not.
I can't really conceive of my death. It's still like something that will happen in the future.
No, it's good though, like to like accumulate art and creations and all that stuff throughout your life, and then just leave with $0 in your bank account. But at least you've created something. Who cares? How much
I had a friend that died. Like he hung himself.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Sorry.
And I don't really know why, but it's not. It doesn't. I feel it doesn't matter so much why, but I had I had to go through all his belongings, and he was also like an artist and drawing, and it was really how I imagined it when I was young, and that I imagined that someone will go through all my sketchbooks and everything, and like we did exactly this, like me and a bunch of other friends, and it was very like I don't know, it was very like much feeling like giving him this honor of like
Mm-hmm.
going through all his stuff and like really like every sketchbook, like looking at every page and like it was like getting to know him also in another.
Wow.
Because we had to
Yeah.
throw out a lot of stuff, and it was
Yeah.
also a bit like collector of like just like random stuff he found in the street. Like he was like, collecting a lot of VHS tapes, like boxes full. I mean, a lot of it we just had to throw out, and then a lot is now in my apartment, and a lot is like in someone's basement. And
How old was he?
he was, I think. Yeah, he was like maybe as old as I'm now, and yeah, I mean, I was in a way like shocked, but he was already in a bad state. Like he before tried to overdose on some pills, and then he was like going voluntarily to a mental hospital, and then he was there for a long time, like half a year or almost a year, and it was really seeming like he got better, like he did a lot of therapy, and then I don't know, something must have happened, but it's a little bit mysterious. But like his family from Iceland wanted to come to visit him. He was in Leipzig, and then they when they got there, like they learned that he just hung himself. I can see why. You would want to end your life, but I would not. I think I would not do it because I think, it's not. I don't know. I think it's hard to imagine. It's not worth it, like the trouble, and I would just feel bad. And
It does seem like a lot of trouble.
yeah,
Like sometimes I feel like I don't want to be alive, but the idea of just. How's my hair look?
On camera, it looks great. Do you want me to bring in a stylist?
Yeah. Yes, please.
oh yeah.
How does your hair look? That's good.
Is my skin oily? So,
Where do people find you?
in this gallery in
What is,
Brooklyn, New York.
what is the name of the gallery again?
It's called Subtitle.
Subtitle. In Greenpoint.
NYC. Yeah. Do you draw like for commissions, Gabrielle?
Sometimes, but not very often.
And if you do it, then you are you like active about it? Like you?
No.
I mean, you send a portfolio to some
no.
art director.
Sometimes McSweeney's or The Believer will write to me and ask for something. I'll only do it if somebody reaches out to me, and even then, I'm a big baby about it. I don't really like it.
No.
I don't like money, apparently. Seems like I just don't like money.
But you're lucky that you have. I cannot imagine I really like New York and I want to actually stay here. But I cannot imagine this stress level of having to make, I don't know how many dollars, but like, if you make 2,000 a month here, already like.
Okay, how about what's one thing about Austria that we should know that we don't really know about? That people...
maybe you know it, but I think in Austria it's like something very. There exists something like very rotten and fucked up, and like this leads to like kind of a basement culture, and like there's and in Austria like the last 10-15 years there were like a few cases of like someone like locking people in their basement and like having some kind of like there was like two very famous cases. Like one guy was like locking some of his kids or his daughter in his basement and making a family with her, and they after like 20 years or 15 years being locked up in the basement, they freed himself, and then there was like Natasha Kampusch that was like kidnapped as a little like 10-year-old kid.
Wow.
That was also like locked up for, I don't know, 10 or 15 years. And that's what I was trying to say before, what I really prefer here. It's like all this insanity, like people are like very putting it out there and it's like ugly maybe, or like everything has to be like sugar coated and pretty and like polite, and then all this like weird stuff is like happening. And there's also this saying that you're going to your basement to laugh or something. Like it's like a place where you go to do like
Weird stuff.
weird stuff,
Yeah.
or like something that is not considered as okay in the public. And it's really like telling for just this like these shadows, but like very oppressed stuff, and I mean I really hate this because it's like it's completely unnecessary, but it comes also from this, I think, like mix of like Catholic and shameful thing, and like and and it's really sad actually, because like, I mean you can do anything in this life, but like to live in a society that creates like something like this, you know, like there's like one woman that she has like a lot of like fake baby dolls, but like super realistic baby dolls, and it's like a whole storage, and she just goes down to the basement and like talking to them, and then because she cannot have babies herself or something, and then like some kind of Nazi basement where like someone is there, like, and it's like all this like paraphernalia. Like there's a very dark side in Austria, and it's also like explains a lot about why Freud came up with these ideas of the subconscious and or the unconscious, and it makes for great movies and great music and great art, because there's like a lot of I mean, I guess in America you also have like
we got a lot of weird stuff going on
weird
here.
stuff, and then I don't know, but like this like amok thing, or like school shooting stuff. I don't know. I also don't have explanation for this, but just like a upbringing where no one has any clue, and you just like figure out everything the way you want it. You have to try to make your sense, like find it yourself, or if you have a question, you ask somebody and they have like a lot of answers, you know, like
I think was it me and you, Gabrielle, that we were talking about that you actually can never let go of that stuff, that it's always there and it will always haunt you.
That sounds like something I said.
That you can never get over that first breakup or that horrible thing that your father told you, and
you have like these experiences, and it's like, I mean, like if you get over it, it just means like forgetting it, no, or like
Right.
Or stopping to care.
I think we're like trees or plants, where there's like something happens and you just have to sort of like, there's some kind of obstruction and you just have to grow around it, like absorb it into your fiber.